Be elite, not average. Average is easy. Become more explosive, more athletic, more confident. Bigger, faster, stronger programs win competitions. There is no secret sauce. Exploder Bar.
Here today with Coach J Jensen of the Mayde Creek Rams. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing great. Braving this weather. We're in the middle of spring ball. Still got guys running at the state track meet. So exciting time right now at Mayde Creek High School.
Now, this past Saturday, we were out at your place for the Greater Houston Area Football Coaches Association Scholarship Benefit 7-on-7 tournament. Tell us a little bit about that scholarship fund that the Coaches Association runs.
It's a great deal for coaches' kids. So the GHFCA is the Greater Houston Football Coaches Association, gives out scholarships every year to deserving sons and daughters of football coaches in the Greater Houston area who are members of the association. So this year they gave out 24 $1,750 scholarships to coaches' kids, which is awesome. It was a great banquet. We honored a lot of people. Coach Zapeta over at Cy-Fair got honored as he's going to be the new executive director and athletic director of the UIL. So just, an awesome organization that gives back to coaches and kids in the Houston area, and just a great thing for coaches' families in the Houston area as well.
So, as you mentioned, we're in full stride in the spring. Got a lot of sports just wrapping up right now. It means, and you're seeing your kids in the weight room. You got spring football. It means you're seeing your kids not only in the weight room and on the football field, but you're seeing them competing all over the place. So, how are things going for you in the spring?
Great. We encourage multi-sport athletes at Mayde Creek. I mean, all our guys run track, they power lift. We had a really successful year. We had one of our football players end up getting PRing, got sixth at state in the 242-pound weight class in powerlifting. Track was really successful. Had several district champions, area champions. We bowed out a little before we wanted to with our 4x100 team. Just had a glitch at regionals, but it is what it is. I mean, kids got to learn that we have one chance. We got to compete. You have one chance to win it, and we didn't perform to our standard at the regional meet. But our guys are doing great. We had varsity baseball players, sub-varsity baseball players, basketball players throughout the off season. So there's just things that you do in other sports that can't be replicated in off season. Plus, we want our kids competing. That means they're staying eligible. That means they're competing year round, and we always compete. If I'm a competitor, I love to compete. So I'm competing every chance I get, and we push our kids to that.
All right. So
the off season was great. Our numbers are better than they've ever been, strength wise, speed wise. We're really, really excited about the future of Mayde Creek High School.
So kind of walk us through your team. You got some kids graduating here in a couple of weeks. That's going to open up some roles for some other kids. So kind of walk us through who you're losing, who might step into those roles, and what you might look like on the field in the fall.
Gotcha. So starting offensively, we ended up pulling up a sophomore last year. Coach Jensen started our last 3 games for us at quarterback. Excited about him. First start didn't go like you wanted to. Second start, he broke the district record for completions against Tompkins. Competed in varsity baseball throughout the spring, so just kind of really progressed in his role as an athlete and his role in this program. We're excited about that going forward. Bring back our top receiver, Eric Nelson. Eric's one of the fastest kids in the state, one of the most explosive, dynamic athletes in the state. Another big receiver, Trey Williams. Trey catches everything around him. Big catch radius. Trey's about 6'1", about 205 pounds, can run well, moves well with the ball, does a great job. Eric's as fast as can be, great route runner, catches the ball well, finishes runs, just a tough kid. We're excited about those guys. We have Dalen Robinson playing on the outside. Dalen's a guy who's doing a great job for us as well. Competes. Dalen's a long kid. He's about 6'1", about 170 pounds, stretches the field, can catch the screens, does a really good job with that. Several other kids competing at the other wide receiver position for the slot. Right now, AJ Jenkins has stepped up. We're really excited about AJ and kind of what he brings to the table. Also excited about a 2027 that we're planning on being up with us right away. Chad Nelson. Chad's coming from the junior highs, Chad scored probably 50 touchdowns the last 2 years for Mayde Creek Junior High. He's been around the program a long time. We've been able to see him, and we feel like he's going to really help us be able to jump up and play right away. In the backfield, we've been pleasantly surprised this spring with Isaiah Hodge has done a great job and really stepped up his role. And as far as being a running back, he'll be a junior. A lot of these kids will be juniors. Eric will be a junior. Cole will be a junior. Trey will be a junior. Dalen will be a junior. AJ Jenkins will be a junior as well. And Chad will just be a freshman. We're still a young team. We played 15 sophomores last year. So we're excited about these guys coming up. But Isaiah Hodge has done a great job in the backfield. Going up front, we bring back 3 returners on the offensive line. Plus, we moved a kid that started on the defensive line over to offensive tackle. So going through the offensive line, kind of led by the center, Alexis Mendez. Alexis started a lot of games for us last year. Power lifted. Alexis is about 5'9", about 270 pounds. Squats almost 650 pounds. Really, really strong kid. Bring back a 3-year starter, Anthony Escoto. Anthony's 6'1", 260 pounds, can pull, runs well. He's an aggressive physical kid. Also bring back Aiden Messina. Aiden moved over from defensive line. We moved him over to offensive tackle. Aiden's 6'2", 265, gets off the ball, really sets the tone. The offensive line has been really aggressive this spring, physical and playing with an attitude. We're excited about Christopher Morales stepping up at the other guard as well. Christopher's a multi-sport athlete for us here at Mayde Creek. He participates in about 4 sports. 4.0 kid, really, really sharp kid, fierce competitor. And Chris about 5'11", about 250 pounds, really gets after it. At the right tackle, right now we're playing Keithan Brosette. Keithan's a kid that moved in for us as a nose guard, moved in from another school, and we moved him over the offensive line. He's done a great job competing. He's about 6'2", 280 pounds. We're also incorporating a tight end H-back this year. So we're excited about Riley Robertson. Riley's a guy that's moving from defensive line over to tight end. Riley's about 6'2", about 220 pounds. Gets after it. He's a guy that played basketball. He's a big athletic kid. I'm excited to get him out there on the field. Froylan Villa is playing our H-back, tight end, sniffer, fullback position. Froylan's a guy that played offensive line for us last year. Froy's a really, really physical kid. Froy's a guy you have to pull out of the fight. Loves getting into it. Great fullback type. If that makes sense, kind of that old school, fullback, I'm going to come smash you. And Froy doesn't care if he ever touches the football. He loves being physical, getting in there and sealing the edge, folding in on ISOs, leading up on digging out on power, things of that nature. So we're really excited about him. To the defensive side, starts up front. Excited about those guys. Torian Collier. Torian's going to be a junior. Torian's had a great spring. Torian had a phenomenal year last year. He started every game as a sophomore for us. Torian's about 6'2", about 225 pounds. Be a defensive end in our 4-man set. Plays the 4 and 5 technique in our 3-man line, but does a really, really good job. He'll be to the field, and he's a physical player. Really, really sharp kid on the football field, and does a good job with that. We're also playing David Ramirez. David's a guy that came up late last year, ended up starting a couple games for us. He'll be a senior. David's a physical kid, loves the game. The kids, the teammates love him, support him. David's a guy that we can count on to do right all the time. We also have LaHerb Johnson and Abdias Mendez. LaHerb's going to be a junior. LaHerb's a longer kid. LaHerb's about 6'3", about 205 pounds. He'll come off the edge. He'll be one of the ends in our 4-man line. Big physical kid. Does a good job. Still packing on weight, trying to get Herb up to about 220, 225. Just help him hold that edge better in our district. We know that games are won and lost up front everywhere, but especially in 19-6A, you have to be able to match up with all these teams have unbelievable offensive and defensive lines. We also Abdias started for us last year. He'll be a senior. Abdias is going to be a faster, quicker guy, strong, a technician, does a great job of playing low. We also were able to get a kid out of wrestling, Toby Kazim. We think Toby's really going to surprise a lot of people. Toby's a big kid, probably about 6'2", about 280, 290 pounds. Great punch, great extension, locks out, big, physical, strong kid. Has only scratched the surface. I mean, he can stand in military 225 for sets of 5 and doesn't even know it's a big deal. So he's just scratching the surface as far as he is as an athlete, as a football player for sure. Behind them, we have the linebackers. Really, really excited about this crew. Ansel Carter At the outside, Ansel was a guy that started at safety for us last year, had 19 tackles against Katy in his first start. We rolled him up to our bandit linebacker, basically a third safety outside linebacker to the position for us. He's blitzing. He's a really, really smart, cerebral football player. Ansel had a great offseason for us, ran track, also dominated the FFA circuit. Won 2 or 3 calf scrambles, got 2 steers to raise for FFA. So the sky's the limit for that guy. Great kid, phenomenal football player as well. Jonathan Haywood plays inside backer for us, started every game last year as a sophomore. Ansel will be a junior as well. Jonathan's just going to be a junior as well. Jonathan makes all our calls up front, gets everybody lined up, just does a great job. He was recently named most outstanding sophomore in the school. So that tells you not just for us, but also in the school, he's doing a great job of being a leader in the hallways, in the classroom, and being recognized by his teacher. So we're really excited about that. Jonathan's another kid that is involved in 4 sports, played baseball, ran track and power lifted, and played football for us. So, I mean, these guys are putting in all the work that needs to be successful. At the other linebacker, we're rotating a couple guys through on the inside with Jabry and Cade's going to be a junior as well. Rashawn Farmer, who's just going to be a sophomore, and Carleo Beard, who would just be a sophomore. These guys have really shown us a lot in spring and build depth. So we like having 2 guys to be able to play every backer position. So we're excited to have those 4 inside linebackers. The other linebacker we're really excited about on the outside is Kosi Akpala. Kosi's just going to be a sophomore as well. Kosi's about 6'1", about 185 pounds, 4.0 student, really cerebral kid, great in coverage, blitzing off the edge, doing a really good job. So we're excited about Kosi. He's a guy that's athletic enough, was a A-team wide receiver for us last year on the freshman level, and can play linebacker. So it just kind of tells you about his athleticism and how hard he works to be good. On the back end, really excited about these guys. They've done a great job of communication all spring, have a lot of leadership from the second end, or the back end, excuse me. But starting at the safety, Elijah Fuller. Elijah's a guy that was kind of a Swiss Army knife for us last year. Played corner, played nickel, played safety. Right now he's starting at safety, and he gets everybody lined up. You can hear him. Hey, if they come out in 2 back, we got this. They come out in 1 back, we're doing this. So his knowledge in the defense, and this being year 3 of this defense, the same coaches, same terminology on both sides of the ball is evident with how far we are advanced to where we were comparatively at any time before on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. But Elijah Fuller at the safety has done a great job. He's going to be a senior at the other safety. We have a sophomore right now, Trey Wimberly. Trey has been unbelievable. Coaches come out. College coaches are out here in the spring, and they've already taken notice of him. He's a big kid, 6 foot, 180 pounds right now. Yes or no, sir, hard worker, wants to know what I can do better all the time. You wouldn't think that he was our freshman A quarterback and played safety. But when you look at now, and he looks like he's been playing safety for his whole life. He's a natural back there, really smart kid, smooth athlete. Another guy that ran track, did everything for us. Elijah did as well. At the corners, right now we have Anthony Aleru. Anthony's a guy ran track for us, high-level track runner, 4x2, 400-meter guy. Really, really aggressive, physical kid, loves to be in the mix. Loves being out on an island playing corner, and you have to have guys that are tough out there at corner because it's hard. And we'd be remiss without talking about losing our leadership. We lost Braden Turner at safety, is going to Stetson University, was a big-time guy for us, ran at the state track meet, played football. Our corner, Tayshawn Wilson. Tayshawn's going to Baylor. He signed with Baylor. Tayshawn's another guy, district champion in multiple events. Took us to the state meet last year in the 4x1 with Eric Nelson, Tayshawn Wilson, and Braden Turner all running on that relay as well. So, those guys have been immense to our program and ambassadors. So hard to lose them. But these young guys learned how to play and have stepped up. But Anthony's going to be really good at that corner. And then looking at the other corner, a guy named Braylon Green. Braylon's been awesome for us. He moved in from Louisiana, been a phenomenal kid, really good kid, yes or no, sir. And he's about 6 foot, about 165 pounds, real fluid. So we're excited. These guys are communicating. They're ball hawks. They're doing a good job in the spring in man coverage and zone coverage, doing everything that's expected of them as far as that goes. Alton Gorestieta also plays corner. He's a guy that started a couple games for us last year, really a technician. Alton will just be a junior, but a great technician with that. Special teams wise, we feel like we have one of the best deep snappers in the state and the country, Tate Dietz. Tate's 6'4", getting a lot of attention by all the colleges that are coming through. I think he's, 4.5 stars by Rubio, which is a big deep snapping. Rubio Special Teams, a big deep snapping company or coach or whatever you want to look at it. But he's with them and phenomenal. He's 0.69 right now on punts, which, most colleges are looking for guys to get the ball back there in 0.75 seconds. So Tate's kind of already ahead of the curve in that, and just going to be a junior as well. Kicker-wise, we're looking at Kevin Zapata. Kevin's just going to be a sophomore, was our freshman A kicker, multiple kicks last year, over 40 yards as a freshman, plays soccer as well. Guy that, we're really putting under the pressure this spring. We want to get him used to that pressure because those guys are often put in pressure situations. So nobody cares you're a sophomore. No one cares what grade you're in. You have to go perform when the lights come on. And so that's what we're putting him in a lot of situations surrounding, putting the team around him, putting a lot at stake with him all spring just to get him used to the moment because he's going to have to step up as a sophomore and be our kicker. So excited about those guys. Anthony Alero will punt as well. The corner, he's an athletic kid, grew up playing soccer. So, athletic kid can punt the ball and do a good job with that. So we're excited about where we're at as a program. We have a great senior leadership, but we also have a lot of juniors and sophomores that are stepping up into those roles and taking over leadership roles. So we're really excited about Mayde Creek this year, but also the future of Mayde Creek football. We have over 300 kids signed up to play football next year. So, it's a tribute to our junior high staff doing a great job of getting those kids across the creek and come play, and our coaches and, being aligned. Our junior high principals align the athletic periods with our coaches' conference periods so we can get over and coach those kids. And, you see them crossing the creek. And I think there's those relationships they're building with the coaches and have them coming in and playing. And that's not just football. It's every sport right now has the most numbers that they've ever had because kids are coming over wanting to be a part of it, I think, because our presence is so big at the junior highs with every sport. So just couldn't thank them enough for aligning everything for us to be able to be successful at Mayde Creek High School.
All right. Now, so you mentioned a couple of the schools that you'll be competing against. Kind of take us through 19-6A. And I mean, there's always turnover. It's high school. You're always going to be graduating seniors, but a few of the programs had really big, impactful senior classes. So kind of walk us through the district and what you think is going to look like on the field in the fall.
Well, I think you always have to start with Katy. They've really been the staple of 19-6A for a long time. So I think you start with them. That great kids, phenomenal job coaching them. Big on both sides of the offensive and defensive line, really physical and aggressive. You look at Tompkins. Tompkins has had sustained success, kind of holding down that second spot. Obviously took over 1 year, but really holding down that spot right behind Katy. And they bring back a lot of kids that have played a lot of football. White Young's played a lot of games since his sophomore year. Ashton Funk, these guys are really good football players, and they have more. I'm just, those are two that kind of pop into mind. But they're going to be good. Everyone in our district's good. We know we have to bring it every week, but kind of looking, Cinco Ranch had a really good year last year. Morton did a phenomenal job. Taylor's really well coached with a lot of good young kids coming up. Pato's unbelievable. Coach Hicks is going to do a great job. He's a great man. Seven Lakes has had a lot of kids that have played, a lot of guys coming back. Jordan, I really like the players at Jordan. Thought they did a great job last year, quarterback-wise, receiver-wise. Coach Robbie does a good job. In our district, we know we have to bring it every week. So the order could be anywhere, but I think you got to start with Katy at the top because they've earned the right to be at the top till someone knocks them off on a consistent basis, which, right now nobody has. So everyone's goal in this district is to be the district champion. That's everybody's first goal. Be the district champion, get in the playoffs, and then do something when you get there. So, everyone's looking for that top seed like Katy. But our district's tough. The year at Taylor, when we made the state semifinals, we finished 4th in the district. And we're able to have a playoff run. We had to wait on Mayde Creek and Morton Ranch to finish their game to see if we were even going to get in the playoffs. So in this district, it prepares you for the war. So we just know we have to be ready every week, and we just want to get in the playoffs. We get in, we know anything can happen. We can beat anybody, and this district prepares you for that. So we're going to bring it every week. We know everyone else is going to bring it every week. So great district.
All right. So let's, you've been around high school athletics for a couple of years. It's kind of take a real big view. What would you think what would you say the biggest challenges facing high school athletics in Texas right now are?
To me, it's just the want to transfer. As soon as I get beat out, as soon as I have to compete for a position, I'm going to leave schools. I'm not happy I'm going to XYZ school. When we grew up, I think we had 2 kids move in or move out the whole time we were in high school. So you grew up playing with your buddies, your friends, all the guys. And I think it's just now that, it's kind of growing up. If I play on a select baseball team and I'm not getting to play pitcher and I should be, then I'm going to leave and go to another team. And I think that's carried over into our athletics where, and all the way to college, obviously you see as soon as guys get beat out, well, I'm going to leave and go somewhere else. So I think the fight, the will to compete, the will to be a part of something, understand I'm a part of something bigger than me. I'm on a team. I think that's kind of gone out the window now. It's everybody wants to build these super teams. James Harden, these guys, hey, go get me help, get me guys to help me win. To me, that's the biggest thing that's changed. I know, obviously Jordan had, they needed to go get Rodman and things like that. But I think it's just that idea of we're going to build all these super teams and we got to have these select and all-star teams and all that. To me, that's not what it is. It's competing, it's going out competing with your teammates. I don't have to go all over the place. I can bring my teammates to my field and I can throw. We can play 7-on-7 on our own. To me, that's the biggest difference. And when we grew up, we all grinded together. Like I was with my teammates all summer. I was grinding with these dudes. We were running, lifting weights, dragging tires, going through everything that we were going through. Where now it's, well, coach, I got to miss because I'm going to XYZ. I go run with it over here. Like, you're going to train with us. That dude ain't going to put you in the game. We're going to put you in the game. So it's just, I think, convincing everybody, like, we got 20 years experience. We got coaches. We got guys playing in the NFL, playing in college. We have a great base on what we do. And it's just convincing everybody, like you have to convince people of what you can do for them. And so the people wanting to transfer, and all that to me is just it waters down football and it makes it like it's easy when you have a super team. You have all these guys that are the best players, all these 5 stars have all decided we're all going to go to the same school or XYZ. Well, that's easy. It's easy to coach the best kids. You got to coach some guys that are athletes or lesser athletes maybe and turn them into great players. I think that's when you see the cream rise to the top with coaching. But NIL is coming. I think it's coming to Texas. It's not if, it's when. So that's going to be something else to deal with when your student athletes are getting paid, which they should. I'm all for it. If someone's going to pay them for a skill they have and they're good kids to where they earn that right, I'm all for them getting paid. If someone's going to do that for them, they've earned that. They've earned that by making good choices, by putting in time to be a good athlete, and then by making good choices to have good character where people are going to support them. And I think that's going to be a challenge. But I think the UIL will know how to govern it and how to regulate it are going to be the challenges. But I know that they'll figure that out. I'm confident. And so I think those are going to be things that we deal with going forward. But this, college coaches coming in, they're dealing with it as they come in and recruit. They're talking about the portal, transfer portal, and NIL and things like that are putting a challenge on them. So I know once it creeps down to our level, it's going to be a challenge on us. So I think those are some of the biggest challenges. And then just all the outside stuff. I'm all for people, training the kids and supporting the kids and guys playing select 7-on-7 and all that. But I think there's still a grassroots of you have to be trained with your team. You have to be with your guys. You have to put in work with the guys that you're going to bleed with on Friday and Saturday nights to build that team and build that camaraderie. So to me, that's, I'm all for, I love organizations that hold their kids accountable, trainers that hold their kids accountable, but there's some out there that just let kids do whatever. We got kids failing, skipping school, not doing right, but they're going in, they're gone 2 days a week to go play in 7-on-7 tournaments. To me, it doesn't make sense. It defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do of teaching character and teaching guys to be teammates and do things right when you have some people out there that aren't.
All right. So let's go from real big picture to real small picture. Try and learn a little bit about J Jensen. What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
I'm a foodie. I love eating. So I try to go all over the top spots in Houston, wherever we're at, wherever we go to coaching school, anything like that. I don't like going to the chain restaurants. I want to go eat, at some hole in the wall in San Antonio that the San Antonio locals eat, or the little spot in Austin that people don't know about, or whatever the deal is. I'm a foodie. I love golfing. So, give me good food and some golf, and I'm good to go. But, that's what I do. Love cooking, eating. Obviously this is a body by 42 years of being a foodie. So, just kind of that, but, obviously trying to take care of ourselves better now as we're getting up there, but love eating and I love golfing. So those will be, I guess, my two guilty pleasures.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Best of luck as you wrap up the school year and move into the 23 season.
Tony, we appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you do for high school athletics in the greater Houston area, covering from 6-man all the way to 6A. I know it's a lot, but you do a phenomenal job, and we just can't thank you enough for highlighting coaches, programs, and athletes, Texas high school athletes. We thank you so much for everything you've done over the years and continue to do going forward.
Well, thank you very much, Coach.
Yes, sir.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.